Hi, welcome back to the farm. My name's Roz, also known as Passion Flower, and you'll find me here each week talking about my farming and creative life. You'll have to excuse the flushed cheeks and the shiny appearance. I'm super sweaty. It is very hot here and we're experiencing a bit of a heat wave. So the shed is very, very warm, even early in the morning. I've got the doors open so there's a little bit of a breeze, but now that this is the third day of the heat, there's just no relief from it, really. And I've already been out and collected the eggs this morning and fed the sheep and topped up water, done all of those jobs that needed to be done before it gets too hot. Normally, we would collect the eggs in the afternoon because they tend to lay in the morning, but so that they don't get spoiled, the eggs, that is, I went out this morning and collected. So it was literally the hens have just laid. Some of them were still nesting and wanting to not cooperate and get off the eggs, but I got in there and was able to get most of them before it gets really hot. I've just given the sheep some food and some water so then they can now eat and then go and hide in the shade, which is what they were doing when I came over here. They're already feeling the heat and were being quite lazy, which is totally fine because I think that's what I'm going to do today as well. I think I'm just going to be over here this morning to record the video and then I'm going to go back to the house in the air conditioning and just hide away from the heat all day. Before this really hot spell, I was able to get out and do 2 sessions of blackberry spraying, which was really great. So we've pretty much finished the open area over in the bush, which was quite a big space and quite a lot of grassland with very low-lying blackberries pretty much all the way through it. So I feel like we've made quite a lot of progress this season on the other side of the creek, which is fantastic. We're still waiting for the contractor to book in a time to come out and do the creek line for us. But yeah, I think that we have made good use of the blackberry spray rig so far. Potentially this weekend when it cools down a little bit, we will do another couple of tanks, hopefully, around the boundary, getting rid of all of the weeds and blackberries and everything on our fence lines. So that is a good project to get done if we can. I mentioned last week that I was going to rake the hay and spread it in the shed paddock where Vito was, but is now sheep free for the time being. So I've done that, and already just with having nothing in there for a week, it's looking a little better. It's starting to recover, and I haven't even done any watering in there. I've just left it, but spread out the hay a little bit, and I'm already seeing some green shoots because earlier in the week we were getting dew in the morning, so that was helping to just keep everything just that little bit of green. I also had a visitor to the farm this week, but I'm talking about it here in business because it was Tess from Fluff and Nonsense, another indie dyer who you should totally check out. I'll leave all her details below because her yarn is really, really lovely. We had met at markets last year and had talked over a number of different events, and she wanted to come and visit the farm and see all the animals. So we saw the chickens and the sheep and the goats and Nassie and also obviously came in and looked at my workspace and studio here over in the shed. We talked a little bit of shop, but in a really good and positive way. It's really interesting and also really great. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of like competition. We each do very different things and offer different yarn bases, have different dye techniques. So it was just about being able to share what we do, talk about some of the yarn stuff, but also just some of the business stuff as well. I now have, I think, most of my markets confirmed for the year. I still need to lock in some dates for classes with Unwind. That will probably be some sock classes, some brioche classes, maybe some knitting in the round, and they're also looking at some beginner knitter classes, so sort of covering the whole gamut. As a shop, they would like to have new people obviously come and learn to knit and also then to expand their skills. So I will be doing that with Unwind. Once those dates are confirmed, I will be adding them to my website. I have just published a events and markets page, which you will be able to go to and see all of the dates of where I will be this year, and click on the links to the events pages so you can find out all the details about how to get there. So I'll be doing the Tea Time Yarn Retreat markets, but they are private markets that are only for the retreat guests. So they won't be listed on that page because you can only go if you're part of the retreat. But my first public market will be the Yarra Valley Handicraft Festival. I think that's what it's called. It's in Mooroolbark, and it is on the 19th of March. So in about a month's time, that will be my first market of the year. And very excited to let you know that I am also going to be at She's Crafty again in Thornbury, and that will be on the 15th of April. So they're the first two markets of the year. I'm getting all of my stock ready and planning table setups and what I'm going to be doing and sample displays and all of that kind of stuff. I'm really excited to get back out and do some more markets. And I've got a few more sort of scattered throughout the year. I think I've got enough done so that I can have plenty of stock, but also to have be out and about enough, while also fitting in teaching the classes as well. Okay, so at the start of the week, I dyed some Jewel C, which is all finished. I also did some Winter Sunrise. I really love this pink purpley one. And I did some Rainbow Gold, which I still need to reskein. So all of my country colorways are now all restocked. So Wonka's restocked, My Country's restocked. So my next project is to work on the flowers. And I did start dyeing flowers this week, and I'm going to do another batch to finish out the flower collection and then make up some more mini skein sets, because I'm pretty sure I only have one set of each color left in the shop. So if you want one right now, go ahead, but I'll be making some more in probably next week when it's much cooler, so I can do the work in here in the shed. So I did some Dusty Rose, some Wattle, some Iris, Azalea, and Dandelion. More yarn is now soaking, so I'll get the rest of the flower colorways that I need to restock done this week. And then I feel like I'm kind of ready for markets. I think having my recipe cards done properly now and just being able to pull them out and put them on the wall in front of my dye pot has made the dyeing process in terms of a bit of a production line much easier. I don't have to flick between things and look things up. I can really batch dye and focus on the recipe that's in front of me and get it done actually quite quickly. And also, because it's warm, things are drying a lot quicker. So that helps to get through a few batches in a week. So I'm making the most of that and getting as much dried and dyed as I can while we have this warm weather, and getting my stocks really up so that throughout the year I can just do some replenishes of the things that are selling, and then also work on some new colors once I have all of my regular colors dyed and ready to go. Not a lot of variety in my crafting this week. I have been working on more dishcloths. I've done two more in the latte colorway and one in, I think this is called Peacock. And I am about halfway through another one. These have been great hot weather projects and non-thinking projects. So I'll probably keep these on the needles for a little while longer, just because I'm actually really enjoying them. And while I'm still thinking about what other projects I want to cast on, jumpers, shawls, big things, finding the perfect projects for the yarn that I have in my stash, it is just good to be able to keep the hands busy and do these. I have made some significant progress on my wool and my pines cowl though. I am up to the lace section with millions of tiny pieces. So I've got You're Turning Violet Violet, which then goes into Pure Imagination, which then goes into Snozzberries, and now I'm up to millions of tiny pieces. I am getting much more comfortable with the lace repeat and the brioche repeat. I still am putting in markers and a lifeline because I am watching TV and doing things and putting it down while I am knitting, and I totally don't want to get it ruined. But I'm really loving how those colors are turning out and combining together. I think it's looking really fabulous. Well, that's it for another week. Thanks for spending some time with me. If you're enjoying these videos, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and look forward to seeing you next week on the farm. Bye.